What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I was hoping to put some work into Bronson's Turbo EK, but we've done just about everything he requested to do aside from the turbo manifold installation because the part was supposed to show up today. I've been waiting now for about 4 days, give or take, and the carrier already showed up. The part is not here. I checked the tracking number and it has not updated since leaving the East Coast, and I don't know when it's going to show up. So in the meantime, I do want to stay busy. There's plenty of things to get into here in the garage. I actually have this package that's been sitting here on the table for about 2 weeks now, and I've been really eager to open this up with you guys to show you what's inside, and today we're gonna do that. So I'm gonna unbox this a little bit later. We're gonna get into a little side project, and I want to get it done and out of the way before we try to fulfill the rest of our day with something else. If you guys remember, we pulled this valve cover off of Eric's K-Swap Integra. Reason for that is because it is super freaking flaky, and I thought this was a good opportunity for a respray and hooked Eric up with a fresh valve cover. So I was on the phone with Bronson for a little bit, and the part just updated. The part's in Wisconsin. It's in Wisconsin. Like it that means it's not going to show up today. It's going to show up in the next couple of days. So we're like literally on the setback with the EK. But anyways, this valve cover came off Eric's car, and I noticed that it was super duper flaky. It was easy to kind of peel off the coating, and we're going to use this valve cover as a donor to paint a new valve cover for that built engine. And honestly, I went through my bin to look for some dash 10 bungs because the original valve cover has bungs on it right here, and I don't have any bungs to weld onto this valve cover. Now I'm thinking, should I just strip that valve cover, which should be easier to strip because it was already stripped it for that Rattle campaign job, versus the factory powder coat? Maybe. I do have another valve cover over here, but the OEM coating is also a pain in the booty hole to take off. So I'm kind of like really debating at this point to do that valve cover or this one. I didn't notice it until now, but I think we have our answer. The valve cover that I painted for the silver car took some beating somehow, so I guess we're stripping that one. Okay, so I was at Walmart the other day, couldn't find any aircraft remover. I bought this clean strip premium stripper. I don't know how well this thing works, never really used it before, but I'm going to be using this to strip down this, and I'm hoping that it's not going to take too much effort because this is Rattle can. This is not powder coat or anything thicker. It should eat it easily, and according to a lot of the YouTube videos and write-ups online, people are using like a bag over the item to help speed up the process of the stripper and also keep it like damped wet rather than it drying, because I've had times where the gel stuff would dry up and then it'll cake it up and make it even harder to remove. So we're gonna brush this on, and then we're gonna toss a bag over it, let it sit for, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, and we'll check up on it and see how it looks. And I'm hoping that on the first shot we're gonna lay it thick that it'll just peel off on the first shot. So let's get to stripping. I don't even have a bag on this yet. Look at this. I don't even have a bag on it yet, and it is eating. All right, I'm gonna let this sit for a little bit. Okay guys, so we're like 25 minutes. Let's see how this thing is looking. Still wet. Everything is gray. Either the primer or, no, it feels like the primer, but I mean, most of the color came off. I mean, everything is like mainly silver or gray. Some areas, nope. If I rub it through, the paint does come off. All the blue and purple are gone for the most part. The only color that's still on here is the primer. This is all primer right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna dab it up some more and try to get this as smooth as possible. And then I'm gonna hit it with like the wire wheel and the orbital sander to get this nice and smooth. So I'm gonna spend some time to do that real quick. Are you serious? All right, guys, let's have a better day today. I just came back from the parts store, got some paint. I went to O'Reilly's in hopes of finding the high temp primer that they usually carry. I didn't realize that the O'Reilly's paint cabinet had changed a lot. There's a ton of other brands and I had a hard time picking and choosing realistically, but this one is by Raptor 1K Pro Engine Enamel Primer, and it resists up to 600 Fahrenheit. So I looked at the 2K TranStar and it said 200 degrees Fahrenheit. So I was like, you know what, I'll just grab this one. And honestly, I used the TranStar high build primer on the valve cover before, and you guys saw in the previous clip, the primer was still stuck on there even after 2 rounds of paint stripper. But last night I fixed the damn sander and I finished sanding the valve cover. I used the Harbor Freight tiny little wire wheel. This thing helped out so much. These little wire wheels right here, I blew through like 4 of them. I only got 2 left. So I went to Harbor Freight as well, since I was already over there, and I bought another pack. So I got the valve cover all prepped. I cleaned it yesterday. I'm gonna clean it again, obviously, here before painting, but valve cover looking really good. All the paint in between all the crevices, thanks to the wire wheel, had taken all of that off, and we're ready for the primer. So I'm probably gonna move the trash can, put a flat piece of wood on top of that, and move it to the sun and get the spraying. Not gonna lie to you guys, I did forget to tape up all the areas that we don't want paint on. And I know most people just spray bomb it, but the correct way is any surface that has a rubber, you don't want paint on it. And most of the time, the areas that has like a 10 mil slot, you also don't want paint up, because, you know, taking on and off 1,000 times will chip it up. Chip would, you know, create a chain effect to chip out of that perimeter, and then now your valve cover paint is like all peeling apart. Anyways, for the case here is valve cover for the most part. What I did here was I took a bunch of layers of paint tape, and there's I think 4 on here. 21 millimeter socket, 21. Okay, put it on there, trace it out, cut it out with a scissor. Now we have 8 little circles, and pretty much that fits perfectly into the grommet slot on the K series valve cover. I don't know about B's, D's, F, singles, whatever, but 21 millimeter. And then these little 10 mil slots, all these guys, is about a 9. So I took a 9, traced it out. I'm gonna cut it out, and I'll tape up all of these 10 mil holes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and there should be 8. So I'm gonna have to cut one more. It's crazy how the wind always picks up every single time I start painting. The dust is in the air, the trees are swaying, but you know, we're committed to paint today. So I just did the first layer of primer. I'm gonna let that dry, and then I'm gonna do a second layer, and then we're gonna get into the paint here in just a moment. I'm not gonna be unboxing the package until we get to the color. So in the meantime, I'm gonna be doing a compression test on Bronson's engine because he did request to do it as well. I need to cross this all off the list. 3-piece front end bracket, we did that. Turbo manifold up pipe, we still need to wait for that clocking flange. Refit belly pan, we did that. Extended wheel studs and bearing, we did that. Compression test is the last thing here on this list. So while the paint is drying in between the coats, I'm gonna do 1 or 2 cylinders in between. But first, before we do, I need to block off the oil feed line so we don't build oil pressure and spill all over the place. I have a welded banjo to block off the feed line. Here's a prime example of a valve cover that just been completely sprayed up. If you guys look inside the cylinder here, that is some really thick paint, and you can see it's chipping off too, so obviously you don't want that to like fall into the cylinder, right? Take a little bit of extra time to tape all that off. So I got the injector all taken off right there, got the distributor taken off as well too, and we have the oil line blocked off. Only the return line is open, but this is taller than the amount of fluid that's in the oil pan, so I'm hoping it's not going to leak. But if it does, I mean, I got a rag down there. So this is going to be cylinder number 1, wide open throttle. We're going to crank it a couple of times, see where it sits at. $194, $195. Not shabby. Back to it, cylinder number 2. Let's go. $192, $193. I'm calling it 193 because it's literally just going down. Cylinder number 3. $194. Okay. Cylinder number 4. Let's go. $199. This is the highest compression in the 4 cylinders. Guys, I'm gonna be an asshole right now. I'm gonna black and white this clip just so we can hide this color to the end of the video. So that means you guys gonna have to watch it all the way through to see the color we're going on this case here's valve cover. And mind you guys, this color has been chosen when I first bought the car over a year ago. I just never got around to setting off the valve cover to get powder coated. So I decided, because this company has a nice color and flake of the shade I'm looking for, I wanted to try it out, and we're just gonna rattle can it. So cut away from yourself, guys. Remember to not cut towards yourself because that is dangerous. So this company has been popping around Instagram so much, and right now the more I talk about it, if your guys' phone is close by, it's probably gonna be in your guys' algorithm. This is a company called Tropical Glitz, and they've been coming out with some pretty fire color, and I really wanted to try out some of their colors. So I did buy 2 colors right now, and I want to show you guys really quickly. I'm gonna go ahead and cover the color. Tropical Glitz. I mean, this probably wouldn't do any justice because the video is black and white anyways. And then we have a second color right here. Again, It doesn't make any sense to show it to you guys. But anyways, we have two colors right here. One is gonna be for the K series we just picked up from KELLYBUILT, and the other one is for the JDM EF2. The valve cover has been sitting and drying for about 35-40 minutes now, so I'm gonna go ahead and shake up this can and lay down our first coat. All right guys, first layer, I'm gonna start on the inside just to see how it lays down before I move to the front. This is also one of those paint colors you have to lay evenly all the way around. And it looks like we're gonna have to use a lot of layers too to get that shade I'm going for. I am spraying a little close because the wind is out and about right now. Round two, hit all the crevices first. Second coat. I might try to go up to 4 coats to see if it get a little darker. I don't think the color is getting any darker, but I do like it. So I'm gonna mist a 4th layer, let it dry for a little bit, and then we're gonna hit it with clear coat. That is the light first layer, and I will say with the clear coat, it darkened up the color a little bit more. Ooh, it's looking good. Goddamn wind done wasted some cat food right there. But anyways, while we are waiting in between coats, I am gonna play around with Bronson's hood a little bit. Last night when I was sanding the valve cover and the cord took a dump, I came out here to just play with this a little bit, and it looks like the carbon fiber hood is definitely salvageable. Now I would sand this and clear coat it, but granted there's like no peely clear coat, and the fact that it came out like this, I mean, I'm gonna play around with it. I'm gonna see how well it looks on just this side with a polish on the wool pad, and I mean, just I guess using it as an excuse to kind of keep me busy while we wait 10-15 minutes in between coat. So I'm gonna hit all of this with 1000 grit. Literally, this is all I have, and that is why I was playing around with it. This is all I had, so hopefully this is enough to kind of chop this down, because we need to get past that, whatever that pitting is right there with the clear coat, because I had to go pretty deep with this to get it all nice and clear. Let's hit round 2. Not sure how much you guys can see the clarity here, and then when it comes to right here, you can kind of see that little fade right there. This 1000 grit is super KO'd right now. I don't have any more 1000 grit to cut it deeper, because you can kind of still see it right there, and like all the way down here as well too. But I am going to up the grit. I don't have 1500. I'm going to hit it with 12 right now. After 12, 2000. I hope that those sandpapers being brand new will kind of cut that out a little bit. But again, we're just testing, because if I end up doing the entire hood and, you know, I'm gonna sand this whole thing down, I would go buy sandpaper for my DA just to kind of make it faster, and then on the final grit or so, I'll do it by hand just so we can get all the DA marks off. But we're just testing, so let's hit it with 12. There's a special chemical that you can spray on here to kind of get a look on your panel before like clear coating or before primer and things like that. I'm just going to use water, because water kind of works the same-ish. But if you really want to see how your panel's looking before any further, you know, like up in the grit sandpaper or, you know, clear coating, whatever the case is, you can just water it down and just kind of look at it. The chemical doesn't have those like texture. Obviously this is water, but kind of get an idea, right? Because if you spray over here, you can see all those imperfections where this one has been sanded down. You don't really see it there, but I will say those little, like whatever that is, there's still some, I can kind of see it where the carbon fiber is not like super clear. But we still got 2000 grit sandpaper to go. Right now, I'm gonna lay down that third layer. Look at the wind is going super crazy right now. And I have just enough in the cup to do 3 layers. Yeah, I think so, hopefully. I got pieces of the tree on top of the valve cover, damn it. Damn it. Yeah, it is dark. It is dark, and the reason for that is because I've been taking my sweet time with sanding this portion of the hood. I found another sheet of 1000 after already doing 1200, and then I chased it again with 1000, And then I chased it again with 1200. Now I'm gonna hit it with 2000 grit right here. And I'm just gonna give it a final sand at 2000. I have 3000, but we're testing and I don't want to skip 2500, which I don't have. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit this with 2000 grit. There we go. Man, this is crazy. This is crazy. It came out a lot better than I had anticipated because all the little blemishes that I didn't fully sand off, if you stare at it, you can kind of see it, but the fact that the whole surface is so shiny, you don't really pay attention to it. Does that make sense? Dude, okay, look. If I just cover that part right there, like, damn. I mean, kind of looks Kevlar. But dude, carbon fiber hood can definitely be saved 100%. Now, the reason why I say I'd rather clear coat it is because you can drop black in the clear coat to tint it to kind of hide that green yellow like color you guys see right here on the screen. What I'm seeing on the screen in real time, it's not the same color, but you guys can see it's kind of like a Kevlar color, and carbon is like gray and black, right? Clear coating it, you can put tint to tint it down to kind of blend it in as a black carbon fiber hood rather than this right here. But dude, this thing came out amazing. I did glob up the 3M stage 1. Don't be afraid to use compound. And I did 2 passes front to back. I covered sections at a time to make sure I thoroughly hit all of the premises, and then I went back and did the same thing. And look at it. Oh my oh my goodness. Yeah, I don't know. Bronson doesn't even know yet, but I was just testing today, guys. I was just testing today. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I was trying to peel all of the tape while the paint is curing. So after I moved the valve cover inside, I let it sit for about 20 minutes while I was sanding the hood down, and then I came over here to try to peel as much of the tape off as possible to ensure that the paint itself won't like cake up onto it, right? So I'll show you guys when we cap out this video, but I'm gonna show you guys in black and white some of the mistakes I did. So my hands were big, and while I was trying to pick on the tape, my glove was like touching here, it was kind of touching here. Actually, you know what, it kind of blended out. You can kind of see a little dent right there. That's just the layer of paint getting kicked up in my hand while I was trying to take off the tape. One spot right there, which actually blended out, I just seen it now. And then I had another spot like right here somewhere. I don't know if you can see that right there. A few small spots, but realistically the color is so freaking beautiful, you don't even really pay attention to it. It is tacked up right now. I don't want to move it. I want to take it out to the light to show it to you guys, but I'll be sure to show you guys a bunch of photos at the end of the video, high quality photos, because by then when this video drops, this is already fully cured. But anyways, I already wrapped up all of my stuff right here, and the wind is starting to pick up super duper crazy. Again, it is the weekend. If you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I go live stream on the weekend just about both days, if not one of the 2 days, and tonight is one of those nights. So the garage is going to be open, but I am done as far as progress goes. So this was the list that I made when Bronson first dropped off his car. We're gonna mark it off right now. 3-piece front end brackets. That was the first thing we did on this car when it got here. Turbo manifold up pipe fabrication. We're still waiting for the clocking flange to show up. Let me check the tracking number real quick. Last time we saw it, when it was supposed to be delivered yesterday, it was in Wisconsin. Based off the tracking number here, it's still en route, and it left Oak Creek, Wisconsin yesterday. And I'm pretty sure if it's on its way here, I'm hoping that we get it tomorrow, just so we can button up Bronson's car. So turbo manifold up pipe, we're still waiting for the clocking flange. Refit belly pan, we did that. Extend wheel stud and bearing, front and back, we did that. Compression test today, numbers look good. Cylinder number 4 was a little higher than the rest, but rather it be higher than lower. I'm really eager to do the up pipe part because that's the fun stuff to me, guys. Fabrication, I enjoy doing it. And I was supposed to do this a week ago if the turbo manifold had fit with the turbo compressor housing, but sometimes that's just the way the cookie crumbles. Again, I mentioned that I didn't want to move the valve cover because it's still drying, and the reason why it's sitting up on bricks is because I painted the lip underneath the valve cover as well, which is technically the correct way to do it. If you guys know Charlie Mua, he emphasizes on painting that lip, so I decided to do the same thing, and I don't want to set it on a table or anything because it's still drying. It's going to tear the paint up, but I will show you guys the color right here. And again, I'll put a bunch of photos at the end of the video in the sun to show you guys the glitter tropical glitz custom color cosmic pink. It actually kind of looks like this color right here on the can, although the entire can, this one as well too, is the same color. This is a different color, just so you know. But if you guys remember my EF sedan when I had the purple engine bay and the purple valve cover, that's what it looks like sitting on the table with the shade. But in the sun, it looks freaking beautiful. Realistically, I was shooting for like a hot pink color, and Cosmic Pink looked really good on their website, so I copped it, and now it's kind of like bringing me back to my first sedan. It reminds me of that magenta anodized purple color, but I'll show you guys again at the end of the video the color of the valve cover. It looks freaking awesome, and we're gonna wrap it up for this video right here, man. I want to go live stream before it gets too late, just so we can hang out for a little bit, and I need to go inside and edit a video, which yeah, just to kind of put you guys on a timeline, the video I have to edit is the turbo CRV exhaust system. So you guys kind of do the math how far we are behind here with the uploads, but you know, that's just how we work here. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed the progress update today. Although we didn't get to do the turbo fabrication yesterday, we still made a ton of progress on something else. A little bit of Bronson's car. If you guys enjoyed today's video, be sure to leave a thumbs up. And if you guys want to stick around for the turbo fabrication with the new top mount manifold GTX 3582R LSVTech EK, be sure to hit the subscribe button. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.